Here this month, we talked about the importance of our brains and how taking care of your brain is going to take care of your whole life. The better that you can take care of your brain, the better, my makeup, the better that your entire life is going to function. Okay. Okay. This is how brains, okay, this is my opinion on how a good brain will function. Okay. This is how I want my own brain to function. I feel like it does function this way. But when you want your brain to function really good, uh, you need your brain to take information and naturally be able to prioritize what is important, what is not important. It needs to be able to take that prioritized knowledge and sort it into the little baskets where it belongs. Okay, so that you can learn some trivia and think it's interesting and remember it and put it in the trivia bucket and not think about it when it doesn't matter, you know? And you can look around the room and notice the important things about it and ignore the unimportant things. And you take those important things and you put them in the boxes where they go so that when you need your information, your brain knows where to find it. Okay. I really want to record a whole brain series and it's going to be a lot of work and I really want to do it. Let's upgrade all of our brains. Yes, yes, yes. That might be an interesting monthly like challenge here on YouTube. I don't know. Up tomorrow, starting tomorrow, we're working on boundaries. And I'm going to remind you, if you haven't swung over to Amazon, looked up my name, Ali Duzette, the red book on boundaries is kind of like our textbook for the season. Okay, so we're going to be working out of the red book and it's going to be really fun. We're going to do it right here on YouTube. So you don't need the book if you don't want it. It will be helpful, but unnecessary in its way. I mean, like you will get a lot out of it if you do it. We're not just going to work straight out of the book. I'm going to be talking inspired by the book, but okay, yesterday we talked about decluttering. Why am I talking about that and brains? Because when your brain is full of clutter, it's hard for you to think clearly. And I do wonder how much of the struggles that a lot of people have in this world, first off, most people's struggles in life, a lot of them come down to subpar brain function because of subpar nutrition, not getting enough sleep, having weird like dopamine addictions because we just watch shows all day and like our brains are fixated and oriented to entertainment. Not we're like not in secure enough relationships to feel safe to actually process all of the junk we've got floating around in our souls and stuff like that. One way to help your brain process better is to declutter your brain. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the decluttering session and like decluttering your stuff, but really what the decluttering session does is it gives your soul a structure for decluttering your soul. And that is what this is about on behalf of our ancestors. First off, I made the decluttering session. I originally was going to call it the hoarding session, but I thought, no, I want to call it the decluttering session because it's not just for hoarders. It's really for anybody who owns items, which is everyone. And people that are ready to like let go of more items. And that was really my intention. But what I found is that when you declutter items, you also declutter your soul. When you declutter your soul, it becomes easier to declutter items. It's this like chicken and the egg, two-way street kind of behavior. And I mention it because I get a lot of messages. I used to. Now I'm just like, go to the decluttering session. But a lot of people are dealing with the hoarding behaviors of their parents, their ancestors, right? Do you have a parent who hoards? Do you hoard? This is a critical session to do for yourself. And then again for your ancestors, because guess what? Once again, hoarding behaviors do not come out of nowhere. Hoarding behaviors make an enormous amount of biological sense. Okay. Can anyone deny it? Here we are in the modern age. You can go to the gas station down the street and buy yourself 10 bags of Doritos if you want to. Guess what? That is not how it was throughout all of history. I know we all know this, but there was no gas station full of Doritos. And if it's too cold, if there was not enough water, if there were too many bugs, like there just weren't enough crops, like you were going to die of starvation. It makes a lot of sense to hoard resources of all kinds, food of all kinds. You see these things on, like Hoarders or something where these people have like all of this just junk. And you're like, how do you live in that? Well, you live in that when your soul is so cluttered, when you've inherited internal clutter from your ancestors, when you are so full of painful things that you don't know how to get out of your body, you shield yourself with items to help yourself feel safer. Okay. I mean, I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense. I have so much compassion for this kind of situation. Like, I don't know. You really can't judge. We just can't judge. I mean, these things make sense, you know. Again, not here to say that hoarding is great and like we should all do it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it makes sense and we need to understand that it makes sense and have compassion for that. And in my opinion, do what we can to help clear out those behaviors from our family tree, clearing out the energy of it from our family line so that we and our descendants are free from those old behaviors. Hoarding behaviors have made sense throughout all of history, and they don't make sense right now for a lot of people. And for some people, they do make a lot of sense. But I don't know. What will the future hold? I don't know. But the thing that I do know is that when we are so, I mean, hoarding behavior is like a fear-based behavior, right? It shows up when we're afraid of hunger and cold and being alone and being unprotected. When we're afraid of missing out on information. Have you seen people that like hoard newspapers? I helped my friend clean out her grandma's house and she was a hoarder of newspapers, and we cleaned out newspapers older than I was. Stacks. Man, I mean, when this is fear-based behavior and it makes sense. But I can tell you that living in a space of faith instead of fear is always going to open up the path and allow blessings to flow through us. All of life, everything that we experience is kind of like a digestive system. Things come in and then they have to come out, or there's going to be a health problem. And that is what hoarding is. A lot of things have come in and they're not coming out. When we do the decluttering session, I'm putting down because I like linked it below, the decluttering session on behalf of our ancestors, we're giving them tools to let stuff go that is probably not going to come out naturally and easily in another way. Like maybe, but this is probably going to be the quickest shortcut to clearing that stuff out on behalf of your family line. We're giving them tools and that mental brain organizational structure of how to let go of things that they've carried for a long time, centuries for some of them. You know, we're clearing this out. Why? So that we can all be set free from fear-based patterns, okay? So that we can have our own bodies and souls be decluttered and more open to receiving and allowing that flow. You know, I don't know, we all want a lot of blessings and most of us do not really want to like give up the good stuff we have, right? Have you ever been in that situation where you feel like you are open to having something more, but you don't want to give up what you have to get it? Because that is really, really common. It's scary to let things go, but it has to be done. It has to be done. You can't just accumulate things forever and never allow a flow. It will make you sick. It doesn't matter what the thing is, it will make you sick. This is how reality works. Things come in and things go out. It's like the ocean. The tides come in and they go out, and you have to have this flow or things stagnate. In nature, when water does not flow, what happens? It stagnates and it gets mosquitoes and like weird goo growing in it and all of this stuff. I mean, it becomes a habitat in and of itself, but it's not a habitat that's healthy for humans. Okay. And we are humans. And so we need flow. We need flow. We need to take things in and let things go. And this is the session that's going to help our ancestors let things go. When we help our ancestors let things go, we help ourselves let things go. So this is really beautiful and powerful. I don't know. I don't know. You tune into your own self and see if this is going to be helpful for you. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for showing up here every day. Thank you for putting aside a few minutes. I know some of you guys have been working really hard this month. Some of you guys have been doing hours and hours of work for yourselves and your ancestors. And I hope that you feel like it's been really paying off for you. I believe that it has paid off for you. I believe that it's not just, it hasn't just paid off for you. It's going to keep paying off for you decades to come. Okay. The little things that we do today, these are the fulcrum points. These are the hinge points where we're changing the trajectory of the airplane by 5 degrees and it's going in a whole different direction. Okay. It's incredible. It's out of control. It's so cool. And I just feel really proud of all of us for doing this. So thank you guys for being here. Again, if you missed some of these sessions, that's fine. There's a playlist in my playlist section called 2023 Ancestral Healing Challenge. Just go to the beginning. You can watch them straight through if you want to. You don't have to do everything, of course. Like, this whole thing is always optional. But my big hope and goal for this is that it has just provided a structure. I think these things can just seem so overwhelming. It's hard to know where to start. And so my goal with these like challenges that I'm doing right now on YouTube is just to give us some structure, just give us like a little bit of optional direction. Like, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, but if you want to wake up every day and have a couple minutes of like a direction to go in that you didn't have to decide because your brain is so full of other decisions, and it's just nice to have someone else come and say, why don't we work on this today? Let's do it together. That's the real goal here. Okay, my goal is to make your life simpler and easier and help you be happier and happier, faster and faster, help your whole family heal faster and faster than you ever thought possible, more effectively, more affordably, more joyfully than you knew was possible. That's what gets me up in the morning. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, we're going to work on some boundaries tomorrow and for the month of December, and I can't even wait. We're going to heal our lives. We're going to help our whole families. We're going to help everyone that we know, because every time that you bless yourself by doing this healing work, you actually bless everybody that you know. We're making the world a much better place every single day, and it is incredible. Look what we're doing, guys. Thanks for being on my team. I just want to give you a high five. High five through the computer. Hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Thank you for participating in the 2023 Ancestral Healing Challenge. You are a hero, and your ancestors thank you. Bye, guys.